After seeing to his father's funerary honors, William saw to the vassals of Aquitaine, spending thousands of gold nobles to buy their loyalty, or at least their acquiescence to his rule. Realizing the value of education, William lured Guy Scarpenois, the talented Chancellor of Verdun, to his court, and then asked him to be his mentor. Shortly after ascending to the throne of Aquitaine, William discovered that his older sister, Elaine, was plotting against his life, and he challenged her directly, obtaining her apology for attempting such a course of action. Before the year was out, William's spymaster detected that Duke Galbert of Gascogne also plotted to kill William, and he, too, shamefacedly begged forgiveness for his treachery. Sensing that rebellion was likely among the lords of Old French Aquitaine, Raymond concentrated his levies there, moving them from Jerusalem and Sicily and posting them in Limousin. During all of this, William had time to be just a boy, forming tight friendships with Constance and Mathieu Scarpenois, children of his mentor. By August 1300, William had assembled an 8,000-man force in Limousin under Tord af Lahome, prepared to deal with any trouble that might arise. This appeared to work, and in 1301 King William held a great feast to increase his standing with the nobles of Aquitaine. The standard mayhem ensued, and young King William was nearly forced to suspend the festivities when Bishop Perenudit had some wine spilled on him and cut the throat of a clumsy servant. After a month of debauchery and murder, however, the lords of Aquitaine went home sated, agreeing that William at least knew how to entertain in grand style. In 1303, Queen Mother Philomena stepped in to become regent for William, and it soon became apparent that his mother had become prone to fits of speaking in tongues as if possessed by devils. William recoiled in horror, wondering what this might mean for him. By the summer of 1304, William began to feel his efforts to assert himself bear fruit, as he successfully appealed the excommunication of Duke Tancred, winning his loyalty. Later that year, William proposed a betrothal to the young and renowned Gerberge de Bechalmont, a young lady his intellectual equal and just as zealous. In 1305, concerned that Aquitaine's vassals had still not come to respect him as king, William distributed large sums from his coffers to buy loyalty he otherwise could not obtain. This seemed to produce the desired effect. A dangerously powerful faction seeking lowered crown authority disappeared, and another desiring independence stayed their hands. In 1306, an indication of weak character showed itself in William when he began to question whether the laws of man or God applied to him, a worrisome sign that may lead to future trouble. This tendency to think himself above the law is, however, well-founded, with William reaching his majority possibly the most gifted diplomat in the known world and a masterful tactician and theologian. Marrying the similarly blessed but less able Gerberge de Bechalmont, the potential exists for a line of wildly superior de Poitou kings and queens. William was jarred out of a peaceful year of rule in 1307 by the revelation that his mother was plotting some dire thing. What, however, he could not ascertain, giving rise to unease and the suspicion that enemies might be lurking anywhere in Aquitaine. These doubts, however, did not prevent William from increasing his hold on Aquitanian Sicily, where he increased crown authority in 1308 to the ready approval of the lords there. A few months later, perhaps finding themselves without anyone else with whom they could easily converse, William and Gerberge became devoted lovers, pledging their undying love to one another. This love blossomed in 1309, with Gerberge becoming with child in June. A daughter, Elaine, was born in 1310, with eyes every bit as intelligent as her mother's and father's. March 1310 finds Aquitaine hopeful for even greater prospects, with towering figures ruling it and only cruel fate its enemy. Alright, so reviewing Aquitaine's vassals, we see that there are still some who need a bit of attention. That is a lot of gold, but I will pay it. It's a lot of money, but it's a good improvement. This has got to end at some point. I'm going to have to figure out something to do. part of the problem is that William has not forcibly crushed a major rebellion. If William had had to, to deal with a major rebellion of that nature, plus he's arbitrary, that's another major problem. So being just instead of arbitrary would be a 20-point shift. So we're going to hold a grand tournament and see whether or not that shakes something up. And let's put Geig in, and let's get him working on fabricating a claim in Provence, because I'm tired of waiting for Yassine to take care of it. Ah, that's not good. As you see, it's changed the situation a bit more. So let's see what happens in this tournament. During the tournament, William is on a hunt. Give me the boar spear. Certainly do not want to be slothful on top of the other slippage that's occurring. Very good. Cannot go on another grand hunt, so we will wait until the next year. Gaston. He seems to be a suitable fighting man. Excellent. Oh. Oh. Bosson of de Poitiers. Huh. Interesting. Most unfortunate. Baron Thibault. Oh, another stout fighting man. This tournament seems to have some proper winners, at least. Now let us hold a feast. The holding of feasts is very important, especially given the situation that William has, where his vassal loyalty appears to be a bit shaky. Let us send out that fellow. Lavish food as always. Let us hold this thing. Well, I don't like you either. Very good. Only one refusal. That will work just fine. Rather late in the season to hold a feast, but more like a late spring feast than a Yule feast. Ah. Very good. Now let's look at what Raimond, yes, he needs to be kind. That will change vassal opinion considerably. As you see, it is all a matter of making the correct choices and forcing those choices to become available. Doing the things that are necessary to do, playing the part of a medieval king or a medieval lord or duke or count or whatever. That's what gets the game in the right place. So, have to do that. It's a bit of a chore, but well, let's do that. I would prefer not to have my bishops unhappy with me. So we will do those. And the Holy Roman Empire seems to be collecting itself back up together. Pisans having to deal with another almost certainly ineffectual jihad for Egypt. The only way that the Muslims will ever regain Egypt is if Pisa suffers some major crisis and they're caught at a weak point. And let's release Bartholomew. Now, prepare to go on a grand hunt. Let's do this. Now, all of these hunts, they of course present the possibility for William to be killed or maimed, as you see here. So it is always a chance. Always a chance. But kinging is not easy. And choosing the hard choice is what you must do. For example, there, to not do the right thing there and to become craven would be a catastrophe. Though William is not known for his bravery, at least he is not a coward. Let's hold yet another hunt. Now, let's go. Perhaps get that diligence back. And let's send this... Oh, do I get this? Yes, let's try that. Alright, let's see. Ah, and William is diligent again. He has regained his diligence and his force of work. Good. Extremely powerful in the diplomacy and martial stewardship and theological knowledge. Now, who shall we marry Elessa to? See, she has a claim on pretty much everything. Let's go ahead and decline that. No, thank you. Do we increase noble customs? Yes. That will help out with feudal vassal opinion a little bit, but every little bit helps. Now, Occitan culture doing very well there on the island of Sicily. Not so well in Italy itself, but... And let's see, Ermengarda. How about... Yes. Interesting, but... other sorts of marriages might be available. Alright, let's try him. And get some children from that fellow and have some good soldiers. It's more a marriage for him than for her. See here, Tuscany still available to be picked up if I were to somehow have a claim for it. Things are moving somewhat slowly in the campaign to join Aquitaine and Aquitanian Sicily. The choice, well, the situation as it played out with Raimond the Wise having Uilliam and legitimizing him made that go a bit slower, obviously. A bit of a setback. There's no easy way to get a claim on the Duchy of Ferrara either. It's there. It belongs to William's sister, or will soon. So I'd have to attempt to forge claims on it one county at a time. Possibly, if I were extremely fortunate, I could obtain the entire thing by some sort of masterful claim. A small increase there. So, difficult to make things happen quickly in this game. Let us send out our best hunter, I think. Yeah. Doge Artaud, definitely a close friend of King William of Aquitaine. Now, vassal opinion is, for the first time, really solidly in place, with the least happy vassals of Aquitaine at least giving their full levy when called up. Princess Elaine, at the age of 3, coming along quite nicely, starting with a base of 5 in all traits, and let's see who we could betroth her to. Ooh, how about this young fellow here? Well, not so young compared to her, but let's look at him. Definitely mark him down. Who else might we have? Much older would be problematic, but just for completeness' sake, let's look. Okay. And then I think he is the best one. I'm sure it's matrilineal. Very well. Let's see if Count Severe will go for it. Prince Hartmann, Princess Alessa. Very well. Very well, and I will accept that as a non-matrilineal. Get her married and get her out there. Let's see what trouble can come of it. A little excitement. Please end your plot. Oh! Very well. A jihad for Syria, eh? So I'm going to continue to get notifications about factions in the Holy Roman Empire. So what is this about? Who is she to me? Nobody, it seems. She wishes to become king of Bohemia? Well. Very well. Duke Aldebert, please end your plot. Peasants have revolted in Vendôme. And as you can see, the factions in Aquitaine have melted away now that Uilliam is firmly in control of the kingdom now. Pope Hilarious? It's an interesting name for a... Count Severe is infirm. Interesting. He is quite the spy master. If I bring him in, he'll do quite well in that position, I believe. Can I invite him to court? Oh, yes. Oh, very good. Oh! And the position opened up. What's that elf's doing, I wonder? Let's put him there, close by, studying technology. And can I raise some more retinues? Not of the knight retinue variety. But I can create skirmish retinues. Only 2 of them. Fine. I'll begin to broaden out Aquitaine's retinue with some skirmishers as well, which will give it a bit of variety in its ability. And since there's no urgent need to get them up there, I will simply walk them. Things are moving along fairly rapidly. The main goal is to simply keep things going as quickly as I can, not focus too much on details, but just hit the wave tops and see what comes of it. Alright, Gerberg is pregnant again. Let us hope for a boy, and let us hope for a genius. Wonderful to keep that going if we can. Peasants revolting in Jerusalem. We'll have to raise some levies here. Ooh. Well, maybe not. Looks like some troops passing through basically took care of them. As you can see, the Holy Roman Empire all shattered apart there. Uilliam could be pressing some claims in France, or attempting to forge some claims in France. Which technology benefits? Economy. Okay, that's good. And let's improve castle infrastructure. Also popular customs. An economy advance. Well, he is definitely doing some good work there. Military organization would be good. The more military organization that Aquitaine has. A second genius daughter. I certainly would have hoped for a boy. We will name her Alessa. Just flatter and soothe him. And the jihad for Idris fails, as I had predicted. And Uilliam becomes a scholar. Excellent. Duke Almeric is nobody to me. Very well, very well, very well. All of this news. It's like having a newspaper shoved under your nose every day, giving you news of a territory you're not terribly interested in. Let's just find her somebody to marry. Oh, he'll do. Very good. As you can see, I'm in no hurry to put down that revolt down there in Alto Aragon. It's not going to be causing any great damage down there. There's no real threat. Revolts of this nature are a much larger threat when you're a much smaller kingdom. Alright, let's have Uilliam educate his genius daughter. Nobody else could. Let's examine France a bit. Ruled by the House de Blois. Province does not seem to be the sort of place that a claim could be made. Let us work on what remains of France now. Because many years have been wasted in Provence trying to set a claim up there. And the jihad for Syria has failed. Excellent. A third chance. A third flip of the coin. Good God, man! Can Aquitaine get a break? I mean, 3 genius girls. Oh, meanwhile, this guy just, you know, he has a son. Hey, thanks for the news, Jack. Like I said, I try to remain philosophical about these things. It's not always easy. Let's go hunting right now. Take my mind off of all of this child making and raising. Let's build some things. Let's get some business done. Militia training ground there. Oh, yes, a zealot. Just like her old man. And her mother. Some jousting lists there. Greatly improved jousting lists all around. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, heresy! Well, you're losing that. Period. You're getting arrested. And we're getting a new chaplain. Somebody a little bit less heretical. We'll not have that. And with the lowered church authority. I would expect that we'll be seeing more of that in the decades and years to come. So, everything coming along nicely. Alright. Castle town there. Oh yes, okay, I can build in this bishopric that I hold temporarily, so I will. So, at present, Aquitaine will split these ways unless a boy is born. And I wonder if there's anything I can do about it. Let's release. Oh yeah. To end that plot. And end that plot. Yes, you're forgiven. Uilliam is just such a forgiving fellow. Patient, and kind, and diligent. But Elaine is coming along quite nicely. Bit of disease in old Aquitaine. These 3 daughters. 3 flowers of Aquitaine. Perhaps the time has come to change to primogeniture. If I do so, I could possibly resolve the division of Aquitaine into several parts. Could be some trouble to do, though. Ah, Gerberg is pregnant again. Alright, this situation may resolve itself. It may resolve itself. And yet another daughter. I just do not understand. But we will name her Ermengarde, and we'll love her like all of the other daughters, even though she is not a genius. But Elaine is coming along nicely, and that is a comfort. Raimond, so masterful at the administration of his kingdom, contemplates that which is beyond his control. Having hoped so long for a boy, and to have been blessed so richly with girls, and such girls, is a wonder to him. Troubled by the division of the kingdom of Aquitaine that this means, and bothered by the fact that there is no legitimate or sanctioned manner in which to disinherit his daughters to the benefit of his eldest, he turns to the task of changing the succession law of his realm. However, before he can change the succession law, Aquitaine must be wholly at peace, and at least one private war rages in Aquitaine, that of Count Davy for Orleans, which is at least well underway, having been committed to in 1318. Only after that is concluded can William try to correct the situation that threatens to divide a kingdom so long united. Please join me for the next chapter of the alternate history of Aquitaine, and thanks for watching.